Welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at a bunch of parts that got dropped off while I was kind of taking a hiatus from the shop. A blow-proof bell housing, all small block Ford stuff. Basically stock pistons, but pop-ups. Old school, but not bad. They look like new. And then there are some scrappy pistons and rods thrown in the mix as well. We have a brand new from Melling. They made a replacement 289 hypo cam, a SBY 12 or 13, I forget the number, sorry about that. And then a used comp cams, a 268H hydraulic, 289 block. I don't know much about that. Two cranks back there, 289 cranks. Two sets of heads, these basically stock, but you know, they got all the valve train and stuff on there, which is pretty nice, but stock. And another set, which has had Chevy valves installed. We'll take a closer look at those in a minute. Right now, we're going to take a look at this Cobra powered by Ford pan. What an amazing part. And no, this is not like the one that's in your buddy's Mustang or even your Mustang. This one is not the T-pan. It is the traditional deep sump pan you can buy out of the Shelby parts catalog. It also comes with the correct pickup tube, and you see the red line on it. No mistaking it. Very cool stuff. We're going to take a little closer look at those heads in the back there and see if they are actually any good or not so good. These parts were brought to me by my friend. It's Rich, who owns the 65 Shelby GT 350 that in previous videos I did an engine replacement in. The car never had the original 289 hypo. We rebuilt one and put one in. Pretty awesome. He had these parts and he was looking for a radiator for his car. Didn't have the correct radiator in it. A friend of mine had the correct radiator, and Rich wanted to know, he had this oil pan and he's like, maybe a trade. They worked out a deal, they swapped, and everybody's happy. So yes, that oil pan is spoken for. It's not available, and it's a super rare part, just like that radiator. This stuff isn't out there anymore. But in the meanwhile, I got the rest of the parts that he had, and what really kind of caught my eye was the cylinder heads, 289 cylinder heads. They have 194 intake valves. I don't know if they have the 160 intake valves, but I'm going to check that now. It was a common swap. You get more power out of these 289s, which only had 178 valves, to swap in small block Chevy valves into the heads for more flow. What we're going to do now, I'm going to take a closer look at it, see if they did the job right, and if they're a cylinder head that I might want to use on an engine that I have. As you can see, there's nothing really special about these cylinder heads. They have been machined for the screw-in studs, which is nice. These originally came with press-in studs. You start getting some higher valve lift, higher spring pressures, starts pulling those studs right out, and that's no good. I can see definitely old school job. Aluminum retainers. Every dude back in the 70s had to have a set of these on his cylinder heads, or else he wasn't going fast. Today, we got far away from them because they aren't very good at all. Old school poly locks. Kind of interesting deal. Flipping the cylinder head over. Again, you can see it's just a 66 289 casting C6OE. They all had that. Standard chambers, but you can see it looks like they put the bigger valves in as well. I think at this point I'm going to flip it back over and take apart one of the cylinders and just kind of see what everything looks like inside. As you can see, they just kind of look like standard old Ford rocker arms, but maybe not. These look a little different. 175 it says there. I'll have to look into these a little closer. I have to clean them up real well. Double valve springs. Whatever these were used on, it definitely had a healthy cam in it. Now, if we take a look at these valves a little closer, let's get a measurement here. I have a digital readout on here, but since the battery's dead, it doesn't do digital readouts. So we're going to do it old school. 160-ish. We're going to say 160 valve. And 190, yep, and 194 valve. So we got, as advertised, Chevy valves in the cylinder head. But what I really want to take a look at is whether or not these were doing any good. Part of the deal when you put these valves in, you have to unshroud the cylinder head, which means right in this area, you got to open it up. Start with your die grinder, come in here, open it up out to the gasket, and then back in, and then radius it down as much as possible. You need to get more airflow around it, because actually what could happen is the engine will perform worse with a larger valve because of the shrouding than it would with a smaller valve that didn't have the shrouding. That would allow the airflow to come out as it should. Because as everything enters the port, it's swirling, and it's going to swirl out and then come in around here, light, swirl back into here, which also speaks to this side. This side isn't so bad, but also I think what I would do is unshroud it out to the gasket again, and then just give it more room for the flow to work around that valve. Now let's get the valves out and take a look inside the chambers here and inside the ports and see if anything was done. It does look like it was opened up to the valve, which is a good thing. This one was not. You can see, I mean, it was opened up a little bit, but man, they left a lot of stuff on this exhaust side that could have been cleaned up to make it flow so much better. And in here, you got to watch, it gets a little thin in there, but I think if you took some time and did a better radius in these areas, definitely get more flow. You definitely can see this area here could stand to be opened up a bit, and the port floor could stand a little bit more of a generous radius, even though you don't actually see flow on the port floor. It just kind of helps. It's a little cleanup. And again, to the sides in here and over in here, they didn't really tend too much to that, but definitely some improvements can be made to these cylinder heads. And another thing to notice, being a 66 cylinder head, these things were also cast with air injection ports, or the ability to put air injection ports in them for California emissions vehicles. You can see there's a bump out right down in there. So a little recap before my phone dies, kind of doing this on the fly. You saw the exhaust port where that big bump was for the air injection port. That needs to be cleaned up, smoothed, and gotten out of there. That's just stopping airflow altogether. And then probably a nice gasket match to the exhaust gasket. The intake ports look like they've had some work done to them. They're pretty decent size as they are, but again, in those areas underneath the valve, which I showed you, I think they could use some attention, and maybe down an inch past the port opening. I think some opening up can be done in there. So I think I got something to work with. We'll see. I'm going to send them out next to the machine shop, get them cooked out. Obviously, those valves are junk. I'm going to get rid of those valves. Once I get them back after being cleaned, I'll probably start working on them, open them up a little bit, and get them ready to put on an engine for some vehicle that I have no idea that they're going to go in. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel.